Hey guys, this is OracleDaphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to do a tea and charm reading. Today I'm recording on my birthday, my 44th birthday, and I'm really excited to do this reading. I just got off Instagram doing a recording over there for the same topic, except I pulled a whole new set of charms, and I kind of want to it's almost like going into like an extended cut of what I saw over there. But I'm going to kind of start fresh. And before I get started, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who has donated. I appreciate all donations. Even if it's a small amount, you can donate through Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. All that's going to be in the description box. I also generally put that in the comments on how to donate through PayPal, but you can also donate through Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle. You could also send me a gift card to my PO box if you'd like to. So for my birthday, okay, so I want to preface this by saying I got the best gift ever for myself, which was the perfect man. It is hot chocolate bomb, okay, and it says he puts the hot in hot chocolate because it melts, okay. So I consumed this already, but in this box was a chocolate man and this cup, and I thought that it was the best. And I thought today, I was like, should I read on my birthday? I don't know. And then I was like, I'm going to read and I'm going to use this cup that I got. I'm going to do a tea reading. And the cup says too hot to handle. The perfect man is too hot to handle. It's just the funniest thing ever. And honestly, it is amazing. Like, this has cheered me up so much, and it's amazing. And I thought this was perfect to do a themed reading on the topic of the fire horse. The fire horse year begins, I believe, February 17th. It's coming. Okay. And so I kind of wanted to see, okay, like, what's coming for this year of the fire horse? What messages want to come through? We're going to use this cup, which has got a lot of fiery energy to it, and it's very playful and very light. And obviously this is my birthday, and so I wanted to do something that was playful and light, and also talking about romance. I have done so many readings about love and romance, and so I want to talk about that today with this cup, but I also want to look at, and I don't want to limit it in any way. I didn't limit it on IG, and a whole bunch of really interesting messages came through. So I am going to say that this cup is the feminine and this cup is the masculine, okay, because it was the perfect man hot chocolate bomb, okay, and it was really good, let me tell you, okay. When I drank that this morning. Okay, so let me tell you, like, this is going to be a great year. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason it's going to be a great year is because, first of all, the fire horse has that fire energy. And it's going to be like a fueling of creative activities, hobbies, fertility, and passion. So, generally speaking, your love life is going to see an increase in hotness, okay? Whoever you're dating, whatever you're doing, there's going to be an increase in hotness with it, okay? Number one. And number two, there's just going to be more of a focus on passion, and to me, the fire energy is about drive, and it's about putting your best foot forward and going for what you want. And so it's a beautiful energy, and I'm just going to see what we get. Okay. Like I said, before we jump in, big thank you to everybody who supported me, who has appreciated this channel, who loves this channel. All, likes are really helpful. Subscribes are really helpful. Dropping hearts and comments are really helpful for the channel, and to get the amount of views that I would need to get in order to really make this worthwhile. I've been reading for a long time now, and so I appreciate all the support, all the love and support from everybody. Thank you so much. So let me see. Okay, I'm going to start off here with the too hot to handle cup. Ooh. Mm-hmm. This is funny. Okay. Just a second. There's some really interesting messages. I think, okay, so I'm going to say first and foremost, I think I'm going to do with this cup a sex and relationship reading, which I haven't done in a really long time. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it 18 plus so I can talk about all the things that I see, because I can't talk about all the things that I see. But one of the things that I see is a focus on female anatomy, okay? If you date someone, they're going to be good at going down. If you go down, they're going down too. Okay, that's Kelsey Ballerini, I think. So there's that. That's coming up here, okay? I also was laughing because I see like a stick. And that to me is sort of like the words like you're going to stick it to them. Like you're going to be like, you need to fucking do better. You need to, you know what I mean? Like you're really going to tell somebody off. That's a fire energy. It's like you're really going to just really give it to them. And so, like, it's like your whole passion, like all of that passion that you have, you're going to really give it to them, you know? Not just in the bedroom necessarily, but like in your relationships, in, you know, even non-romantic relationships, you're going to really stick it to them. You're going to be fighting for yourself. I feel like this is a passionate fight, passionate argument where you're really going to be like, no, like, I'm going to stand up for myself and I'm going to not take shit from anyone here. This is an interesting message. Very fascinating. Some of you are going to be switching religions or switching churches or having interesting conversations about religion. Passionate, fired up conversations about religion or about origins of the planet or about, you know, Jesus or God. Very fired up conversations about that. I don't know why I'm seeing that. Very passionate conversations about that. I also feel this is going to sound interesting. I'm seeing, okay, so this came up in one of the other T readings I did where I saw a cross and the cross type path. And I think I talked about it in that reading. What is the cross type path? The cross type archetype path is a path that is very hard for a person where they may have been cast out, ostracized, carrying impossible burdens. Okay. Like Jesus did. Okay. Which correlate to kind of like this feeling of having to go through so much and carry impossible things and carry an impossible burden. And I think that's what it's talking about here. And I feel like for many of you, you're going to get fired up about having to carry that kind of burden alone. And I feel like you're going to be really impassioned about people on this planet not having what they need. There's going to be, I want to say, more conversations, more passionate, fiery conversations about food, about wages, about people living on SNAP, okay? I don't necessarily know if there's going to be another shutdown, but I feel like there might be some more passionate discussions about the, you know, almost as if there's going to be more of a divide between the rich and the poor, okay? And the poor are going to get really fired up this year, okay? Really, really fired up about either their SNAP benefits or for some of you, it's not even about the SNAP benefits or about the burdens that they have had to carry, the things they have had to do, the years they had to work with crap wages, whatever it is that you know, you would say you're fired up about. Now, not everybody watching this reading is going to be on SNAP, okay? But there's a lot of people in this country that are on SNAP, and I'm not just reading for people in the USA, but I'm reading for people outside of the US as well. There's a lot of people in this world who do not have a lot, okay? It's almost like there's passion around the basics. There might even be this year more of a return to its discussion about basic income for everybody, or like some kind of thing about finances that's coming up. And now some of you are going to be fighting about finances. Like there might be a masculine in your life that is fighting with you or fighting with a partner about finances. If you're married, you're going to be fighting about finances. Okay. The cross-type path, though, is also a spiritual path. It's a path about overcoming so many obstacles and overcoming being cast out of tribe and overcoming being like scapegoated by a bunch of people and overcoming like judgment from other people. I mean, Jesus walked a path that was hard. Okay. Like we are looking at it from that perspective. For even those of you who are not religious, okay, and you're more spiritual, we're looking at it from a place of he had to walk a really challenging path. Okay, he was beaten up, okay? And the people that beat him up should have been arrested, but they weren't. And so I feel like there might be stuff about schools where there's bullying or there's harassment or there's people that should be held accountable. This is holding somebody accountable, holding them, sticking it to them, being like, no, like you can't get away with whatever you're getting away with. Okay. This is like almost like going against group mentality. For some of you, you're going to be like kind of having your eyes open to what the group or the judgment of group mentality is. For some of you, you're going to be going off grid. Okay. You're going to be deciding, okay, I want to go off grid. I can't take this anymore. Or for some of you, like you're going to be quitting a corporate job and doing something else. Whatever it is that you're quitting, or whatever it is that you're doing, it's going to be like very, I want to say radical. For some of you, you've been carrying a burden for so long that this year is going to feel like the kind of time where you put it down. You're like, okay, I'm putting down these burdens. I'm giving it up to God and I can't take it anymore and doing something different. Or it's going to be one of those things where there's like, it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction. It's very Sagittarius. You know, Sagittarius can have a knee-jerk reactions. They can go hard left, or hard right. You think they're going one way, but then they go another. And for some of you, you might have a split decision, or like, let's just say you're doing something in your life and you're like, well, I was going over here, but fuck that. Okay. Fuck that person. I'm not going to stick it to them. Like I'm not going to pay that fucking rent, or I'm not going to pay that effing bill, or whatever it is. You're going to be like, stick it to them. You're going to be like, no. I also feel like for some of you, this is in relationships where you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to pull the weight of two people. I'm not going to carry the impossible burden. Whatever the impossible burden is, you're putting it down this year. You're putting it down. We can pray to God and manifest for you that you're putting it down. Now, some of you, you might not be able to. You might feel like you have to carry it. You have to be like Frodo. We have this ring here. To me, that's Frodo. And carrying it up the mountain, going against the enemy and there's a lot of religious principles here that are showing up. And for those of you who didn't know, I had a very religious upbringing. So I am a very spiritual person, but I also had a very religious upbringing, and I almost became Catholic, which is interesting, because I wanted to marry somebody who was Catholic. And I share a lot of kind of Hindu and also Buddhist beliefs about things. And so my spiritual perspective is so different than probably everybody else. It's kind of a mixture of a lot of different things. I do take, and I will say that there's principles about Jesus in the Bible, which we can all learn from. It's still a lesson. It's still a valuable lesson about how not to throw somebody into the fire pit, when they don't have anything. How not to let somebody stay out in the middle of the cold, in the middle of the winter time without shelter. It's just one of those things where the humanity of this reading is going to be called into play here. Where is your humanity? What is it that you stand for? What are you going to stand up for? Who are you going to stick it to? That's the question. Very fascinating. I haven't even really gone into some of these other things. This is like an exciting reading. Just a second. I got to take another step. Oh, I forgot to say. This is nettles and sage, and this is Tulsi. This Tulsi is representing more feminine and the nettles and sages representing more the masculine, but I'm not limiting to that. There's a lot of stuff here about love. Okay, we have this heart here, but we also have this heart, which is a broken, it's a broken sword. It's a broken heart. We have a heart, and then we have a broken heart. And then we have this piece, which is about everything you could ever want, or wanting like an ideal, wanting the whole package. I feel like for some of you, this is one of those things where you're going to be examining your heart, like what's in your heart, who you love, like who's important to you. For some of you, you're going to get really fired up or fall very, very much in love with a person. The question is, I think you're going to ask yourself, it's kind of like a little bit of this contrasting element where it's like, some of you might love someone so much, but it's painful because they don't either love you, or there's some element of you're not able to be with them, or there's some element of restriction, or there's some element of like, you need to not love them. You know, we have this little piece here, which is about kind of not a red flag, but it's about, you know, like stopping something, a caution. You know, of course, we have the Texas here. So this is again, something where, you know, you don't want to get back with an ex, or you don't want to like get back into something that wasn't good for you. You want to be aware of the things that are good for you. Be aware of who you love, who's filling up your cup, you know. Is this man, this beautiful, gorgeous, hot man filling up your cup? And, you know, from this reading, it's hard to tell because I want to say there's elements here where it's almost an energy of you wanting them to fill up your cup, but they're not. You loving them unconditionally regardless of how much they hurt you, or them loving you unconditionally regardless of how much you've hurt them. Wanting to stop, wanting to no longer be with somebody who's not going to love you, or not going to be able to love you in the way that you deserve. And the question is, what is love? The question is love unconditionally loving someone despite the fact that they are going to continually hurt you? Or is love going with something that fills up your cup, that makes you feel full, that provides for you, that gives to you, that returns the love that you share? This is idealism at its finest, but it's also a very hard reality. It's examining, what you might call like the perfect man or woman, okay? The perfect relationship. You know, I feel like a lot of us, you know, and this came up really interesting. This came up the other day with a friend of mine. I was thinking about this. You know, we can absolutely pretend that if we go and sleep with someone, it's not going to matter. It's not going to mean a thing. We're just going to go sleep with them and blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's true. I think what happens is that our bodies and our emotions are not separate. And when we sleep with someone, there is a connection that we're having, whether we know it or not. And I think that, you know, in our society, people would argue with that and say, well, I don't feel anything. I'm numb to things. I don't care. And I think that ultimately there is a need with a lot of people to returning to care for each other, the masculine, feminine, caring about each other. Providing for each other, loving each other. It's not love when they do nothing for you. When they bring nothing to the table. They cannot show up and just look good. I feel like there's some men that think that that's okay for the feminine. If they show up and look pretty, that's all they need to bring. But I feel like that's also not a 50-50 partnership. And it's undermining the feminine because the feminine also has things to offer. So I feel like for many of you, you're going to be really this year examining, like passionately examining, okay? What is being brought to the table? what is it that is something that you're that's going to fill up your cup, that's going to make you happy? There's also this little piece here, which is my favorite piece, about a miracle. It's a little earring. It's a half a star, a sliver of a chance. I feel like for some of you, you have entertained relationships that are over, that aren't going anywhere, that don't have potential, but you're seeing potential in them anyways. There's a sliver of a chance that it could go somewhere, but most likely it's not going to. We cannot just wish on a star and get everything we want in reality. Yes, we can manifest and we can wish and we can pray and we can hope that we're going to get what we want and we can work for it. But you can't make something out of nothing with a relationship with a person who doesn't want to put any effort or time into it. So I feel like there's a reality check here, and I hate to say that to you guys. I also feel like for some of you, there's an imbalance between this masculine and feminine energy where, maybe the masculine's doing everything, the feminine's doing nothing, or the feminine's doing everything and the masculine's doing nothing. Like, why? And some of you are going to be passionately heated about this imbalance. Those of you who are single parents, you're going to be just pissed off. You're going to be like, what are you doing for my kids? Those of you who get pregnant this year and you're pregnant with somebody who doesn't care, who's not showing up, who ghosted, you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be probably more pissed off than you ever have been, because this is a year where you're going to need, and I'm saying this for singles as well, you're going to need practical, solid foundation this year. You cannot wing it this year. The fire needs the ground in order to do anything. So you cannot just get by with a person in your life who's not going to show up for you. And I feel like that's the sticking it to other people. You're going to be like, no, like, it takes work to have a life, it takes a village, it takes community, it takes love. You're going to be hot. You're going to be hot over, these concepts about wanting maybe equal wages or fighting for your rights in some regard, or standing up for things that you believe in. For some of you, you're going to be really hot for your children, standing up for your children, standing up for the underdog, standing up for the pets, the planet. You're going to be fired up about the planet. Absolutely. I want to take a sip here of this, the Tulsi, just a second. I want to get a final message. This has to be a final message because I have to go. Some of you are going to be, really working through things from the past and going back over things. Maybe some of you rehashing things, but like really revisiting the past and looking at the past with a fresh pair of eyes about what it is that you want in your life and what you want to let go of, but really looking at that past. It's almost like you're just really wishing that you could rewind the clock. And I feel like for some of you looking at life this year, you're going to be so forward focused that there might be times when you're maybe alone at night or something in bed before you go to sleep that you have these moments of regret. It's almost like you're going so fast into the future that when you do stop, you're going to have moments where you think, well, I should have done differently with that person, or I could have done differently over there. For some of you, you're going to do different. And for others, other people are going to do different. But I feel like it's more of like a reflection element. It's not necessarily something that's going to happen. But I feel like for many of you, you're going to be passionate about your material security. You're going to be passionate about your rights, for whatever reason, your rights, and standing up for yourself in relationships, wanting to have a full relationship, a full loving relationship, or wanting to have, not being Frodo anymore, carrying the ring up the mountain, having somebody who's providing for you, somebody who's going to take care of you. These are all kind of like bigger term, longer term adult conversations that people, I feel like, are going to be having this year. This has been so fun. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna come back with more. I wish you guys all the best. I send everybody big hugs, big kisses, and many blessings. All the best. Take care. Bye, guys.